Hi there, Z here, and I haven't done one of these in a while. Simply for the fact that I don't like keeping my channel. I don't like switching back and forth. Like I kind of want to keep it with just reviewing movies and video games. But sometimes when the whiskey hits me just right, I do like making a commentary on a few things. And I think I think you guys deserve a little bit of commentary just to kind of see what's going on. As you can see, new location. It's not a new house or a new apartment or nothing like that. It's just my basement. Apparently, you can't call your girlfriend's mom a cunt and then just get away with it. I'm joking. That sounded really harsh that I said it back to myself. It's a joke. I wanted to be down in the basement the entire time, and my woman's like, no, we're gonna make that our entertainment room. And then 1 year living in this house, still not an entertainment room, so I said, fuck it, I'm moving downstairs because I sweat like a disgusting pig upstairs because heat rises and South Dakota gets particularly hot every summer. So it's like really cold during the winter, frigid, icicles on your ball sack, and then summer it's just every pore is just glistening. And with a dude with a shirt off and a six pack and everything else like that, that sounds good, but I am not anywhere close to having a six pack. So it's just a fat, hairy, disgusting man without a shirt on looking at you through the window. That's all it is. And it's not great. But anyways, I like to just kind of do these commentaries every once in a while whenever something just hits me. And I try to not make it political or anything else like that. Though, an opinionated man under the influence of alcohol, it can definitely get that way sometimes. So I don't mean to really quote unquote trigger anybody here. If commentaries aren't your thing, you don't want to hear about my opinion, you say, get to entertaining, you fat sack of shit, fine. I'll see you in a while. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. If I had to bring two things up to the people who are watching me right now, it's new location. So don't have a nervous breakdown next time you see the new location. Which also means I have to work on the lighting and I have to work on the sound and everything else like that. New location. I have no idea what's going to happen. And then the second thing is my lack of a video this week, and the main reason for that, and I have a good reason. Don't you worry about it. Me, my two brothers, and my cousin were doing a drunk stream on Twitch for our Twitch channel. It's confusing. I'll go more into it in the future if it ever comes to that. But we were doing a drunk stream, and one of my dogs tripped on the cord to my other nice Blue Yeti. By the way, if you guys ever want to do something like with YouTube or just have really great sound, Blue Yeti, fantastic. $130, but having high quality sound is not something that is cheap. But he snagged it, he pulled it down, he flipped out, he ran around in a circle, got tangled up in the cord here, slammed down on it a little bit and ran upstairs, and it fucking broke. And there is no goddamn way I'm going to be doing a video with like headphone. Like this is fine for streaming if I just don't, just want to hang out for a little bit, play video games and talk to the viewers. Yeah, that's fine then. But for an actual YouTube video, I like putting a little bit of pride. And I know it doesn't look like that due to my editing is shit and everything else like that, but I like making sure I have the most quality to it as I can. But those are the two things. Those are the only two things I want to talk about. If that's all you guys wanted to hear about it, oh, where's the video? Okay, that's the reason why. Why does it look like he's in a sex dungeon? Oh, that's why. Okay, you can go ahead and leave. Thank you very much for staying along as long as you did. I'm guessing that lasted about 5 minutes to kind of explain it. But that's another thing you learn about me is that I like talking when I'm not even under the influence of alcohol, but I have a little bit in my system right now, so it's gonna be amplified that much more. Sorry about that. And the real thing I wanted to talk about today, and like I said, I usually like doing stuff that nobody else talks about, stuff that I noticed that, it's like, oh wow, that's crazy interesting. I have a lot to talk about this. It's not one of those. I'm going to do a little bit of a generic one because it's something that I was thinking about all day. So here's what I'm all about. I'm a bit of a miser. A miser is somebody who has money to do stuff but keeps it for misery reasons. And mine is I like holding on to a bunch of money in the fact that my AC blows out. I need to buy a new AC. Okay, I don't want to put down a loan to buy a new AC. Here's just a bunch of money that I've been saving up. A few $100s is what I usually like doing. Same thing with like a car purchase, anything else like that. I'm a man who has been deathly afraid of being in debt, even though I have school debt and I own a house and I own a car that I haven't paid off yet. Doesn't matter. I have enough debt that I don't want to do it anymore. So that's my main reason of doing this. But I also like doing it because obviously I enjoy alcohol. I enjoy alcohol. Look, in reaching distance, I have about, well, that one's probably, it's about 2 bottles of alcohol just sitting around. And that's mainly because I don't have a good place to put it, so I just kind of leave it on the floor or wherever it might be. I know it sounds a little bit slobby, but don't worry about it. The top's on. It's not like it's leaking. It's not like a rat's getting in there and getting drunk on it. The top's on there. Don't worry about it. But, I like alcohol, as anyone can tell you. I like video games, as you can definitely see out of all the reviews that I've put out right there. And I kind of like saving as much as I can. And then what I do is I look through all the games that are coming out within a year. And typically, I'm a man who can say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter about this game. Oh, another Call of Duty game out. Terrorists, people fighting against the terrorists. Pfft, who cares? It's another multiplayer, because people buy it for the multiplayer for more than anything, I can tell you that right now. Because the stories, although they are doable, not that great. Not that great at all, at least to me. That's my thing. But this year, I was looking at it while I was at work, and it was a little bit of a downtime, so I thought, I'm going to look at all the games that will be coming out for the rest of the year. And then I thought back, holy shit, there's been a ton of games out that are great this year, that have been fantastic. And there's more coming out that I am more interested in. And that's what I want to talk about. Roundabout way of saying it, but that's what I'm going to be talking about you right here. There are so many fucking games. I'm going to be broke by the end of the year. It's going to suck, but it's going to be so great. Hopefully it's going to be great. I don't want this to be like a Dishonored thing where, in my opinion, the first Dishonored was fucking phenomenal. It was fantastic. It was great. I loved everything about it. And then I played the second one and I'm like, I can't even finish it. I'm so fucking bored of this game. Like, I don't know what it was. I haven't really replayed the first one, so I don't know what they did wrong in the second one, or if I'm the only one who has that opinion. That might be it too. I might just be a very picky man. But there's games that are just coming out, like the next oh man, what is it? The next Lord of the Rings Middle Earth game. I can't remember what the first one was, but one where they have the progression of bosses, or I guess special units or something like that. Another one's coming out. I loved that one. I put about fucking 80 hours into that game. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot since, a lot of other people. But for a game that I like playing games until I finish the campaign. And I'm like, all right, I'll come back to it in 3 more years and play it again or something like that. I don't play it over and over and over again to get every achievement, to collect every bone from the ground for the sacred ritual at the ending. No. I just do it all. And that was one game that I absolutely loved. Oh, it was so great. I mean, the story was meh, but the idea of it, of these inner fighting between all the other AIs to kind of get to the biggest one, it was great. I loved it. And I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. If someone gave me a Harry Potter book or a Lord of the Rings book, I would set the Harry Potter book on fire with the flames of Mordor. I'm a little bit of a Lord of the Rings geek. And if that wasn't enough, the new Mario game's coming out, which, I mean, depending on the kind of person that you are, a lot of people like to think that Nintendo's kind of lost their way, kind of lost their feeling. I disagree completely. I mean, it has gone a little bit off the beaten track, and I will agree with that, but I think they're slowly getting back to it, and I know a lot of people, like, some people, when you bring up the word Switch, it's like an impulse clicks off in their head, and they have to just spew profanity about Nintendo. Oh, it's made out of cheap plastic. It broke in 2 seconds for me. I treated it completely fine, and it lasted me a month. Okay. I've had it the entire time, and it's been working fine with me. Mario Kart's been fun. Link, the new Zelda game has been fun. I don't know what else you guys want. And that's another thing, is Mario's coming out, and if it's like the other 2 games that I have for Switch, like I said, Mario Kart and Zelda, Zelda I still haven't really beaten Zelda because there was a ton of other games that came out around that time, and I thought, I'll share the love, and then I completely forgot about it when I am completely blanking here. Mario Kart came out. Whew. And I played that forever because I grew up with Mario Kart, fucking around on it and going backwards in the track and hitting my brother and other, NPCs and not NPCs but AIs. But anyways, I hope that this new Mario looks fantastic, by the way. It looks like it has the same, I don't know, kid fantasy as the other ones did. Mario 64, excuse me. Mario 64, obviously all the other Marios before there. Mario Galaxy. The new ones, I can't quite remember what the new ones are called because I completely skipped those ones. But I did play with my friends, and it was always fun to fuck your friends over. Okay, guys, I'm gonna jump over this. Make sure to not jump on my boom. Dead. Every fucking time. I loved it. And I mean, all these great games are coming out, and there was great games before this entire year. But the one that I am just so excited about is the return of Blazkowicz. Oh my god. I don't know what it was. Okay, so I'm guessing if I had to pick one game that I was going to be focusing on and the whole reason for this commentary besides updating my current situation, it would be Wolfenstein. The second one, the sequel to New Order that came out. And it looks different. I mean, for some reason, some guy's dropping acid and he picks up a little cartoon. It's interesting, though. I mean, they're not going to do the same brooding darkness that they did in the first one. And I don't know. A lot of people are going to be like, Zach, you're a fucking moron. And I can understand that, but stick with me for a little bit. I thought the New Order was art. I know it sounds fucking weird. Aren't you just stabbing like Nazis in the crotch and fucking, banging the person who wiped your ass for 5 years when you were in the mental institution? I know it doesn't sound like it should be one. But at the end of playing that game, and I'm not going to spoil anything in case anybody wants to play it before the second one comes out, I suggest it. I wanted to do a review on this, but I thought, it's such an old game, and the second one's coming out. I'll just let people determine if they wanna do it or not. But it was the feeling of the game. The feeling was so fucking good. It was dreary. Like, at the beginning, it was like a war game. Oh, Call of Duty, cool. But except we're fighting with high-tech stuff because the Nazis in Wolf of Wolfenstein. Oh, my God. Wolfenstein. They always have, like, these very, very technologically advanced weaponry and everything else like that. And at the beginning, I'm going to share just a little bit of the beginning. Hopefully it'll hook you in or something like that. But at the very beginning, it's like you're flying and you're meeting all these fucking carnivorous, like huge-ass dogs that are made out just metal robot dogs that are just eating everybody in sight. You have to blow them away with a huge auto. It's fun. It's good because it just feels like a alternate reality Call of Duty pretty much. Oh, the Nazis won. Okay, cool. I guess, what is it, Homefront? I think a game already did that. I don't know if that was the Russians or the Nazis that won, but Homefront is definitely similar to that, where we didn't win, and what happened if we didn't win in World War II? What if this might happen? Except this one goes a little bit into weird territory with, like, magical items that are just so fucking, amazing that they kill hundreds of people at a time. It's whatever. But the feeling of the game was fantastic. At the very end, I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Is that the end of the game? When's the next game going to come out? And there's not many action games that do that to me. Let's all be fair with each other. Action games are not known for their sterling intellect and making you really feel deep down inside for the characters. They don't do that. Look at that guy over there. He's a bad guy. Shoot him. Bam, bam. Good job. You shot him. Look at all the blood splatter everywhere. Cool. And if it's just Doom, it's shoot at that demon, blam, blam, oh, look at that blood everywhere, boom, boom, and then it just kind of keeps going on and on and on and on. That's what action games typically are. Where you typically find good stories and shit like that are RPGs is the one thing I can really think of. JRPGs, if you're into that, but I fucking hate JRPGs, not to offend anybody out there, but if I have to see one more dude that looks like a girl because of the hair and the body physique, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably a shooting rampage, but we'll find out in the future. Anyways, hold on a second, my throat fucking hurts. As you guys can tell, I don't edit any of these out. These commentaries are strictly commentaries. I don't want you to think I'm editing out something that I didn't mean. Everything is straight from my brain to my mouth into the camera. Which can be bad because I could do this all day long if I could, but I try to keep things nice and short, simple. Doesn't always happen. But the feeling of this game for the third time, the feeling of this game is just dreariness. Like, I don't know what it is. You talk to a bunch of different people in this resistance that you're going through. You talk to them, and each one of them has their own sad story. Every single one of them has a feeling. And there was a part in the game, and I just recently remembered this because I'm playing through it right now. I'm playing it through on the hardest difficulty just so I can get some action to it. It's a little bit easy if you go to easy mode, but if you just want to know a good story, easy mode's the same way. But there was a part on there where you fell through this one area and you had to climb all the way back up to the base, the base of operations that you were in, and it's like every single person above, like it's underground, so you can hear all of the people above talking, and German, obviously, because the Nazis won. And it's weird because, in a very subtle way, in my opinion, they kind of make you feel like you're the bad guys. Like, obviously, you're not the bad guys. I'm not a neo-Nazi or anything. I'm not on the Nazi side. But you hear all of these just regular people that have just grown up knowing that the Nazis won for decades. They've been in power. They won. They're all across the world now. But you hear them and they're just like, did you hear about another terrorist attack that killed another 15 more of our men? And you're like, hell yeah, I killed 15 of those fucking Nazi scum pieces of shit. And then you hear somebody say back, wow, that's terrible. I wonder what their families will think. And you're like, yeah, I never really thought about their families. I mean, these guys are Nazi pieces of shit. You could automatically think that the family is a bunch of Nazi pieces of shit, but maybe they're not, and the father's just doing it to... Wait a minute, maybe I'm thinking too far into this. So you progress further, and every single time you keep hearing, like, these terrorists are attacking, these terrorists, and then you think, well, poor us, because these terrorists are obviously attacking us for no logical reason. Of course, they're Nazis, so they think their life is fine. But then you really have to think like, oh, well, yeah, technically we are terrorists because we are committing terrorist acts against a higher form of government. Oh shit, we're terrorists. Now again, I feel like it's good terrorism. That might just be me. You know, there might be some white supremacists out there that might leave me some nasty comments. But it's little stuff like that just made the game so great. And obviously they do a great job at setting the world. The Nazis won. There's no resistance anymore. America surrendered. Europe surrendered. Everybody surrendered because we fucked up and we couldn't finish the job at the beginning of the game. So you feel partially responsible. Now, sure, there are some terrible parts of this game. It feels like every single person... It makes no sense. So you go into like a Nazi concentration camp. It's like a work camp. So you go into this work camp and you talk to... You walk over to some black guy and you're just like, hey, man... So I'm trying to look for this one guy. And of course, the black guy is not going to be like, wie geht's? Wie geht's zusammen? Ich spreche... He doesn't speak German. He's like, oh yeah, obviously American. You know, the Nazis have been taken over for a decade already. Yeah, of course. I know what you're talking about, you American piece of trash. Little stuff like that. But as long as you don't get too wrapped up into that, you're going to have a good time. But again, this is what I like talking about. Like I mentioned before, I talk a lot. I could keep talking about this all day long, but I think we're getting close to the amount of time where I should probably wrap it up. Anyway, I don't suspect a lot of people to watch this, but if you have to take one thing away from this, living in the basement now. I'm gonna be setting. That's my dog. But no. Look. Stella, you want to shut the fuck up? Thank you. Sorry for the edit right there. Dog flipped the fuck out because somebody shut a door a mile away. Motherfucker.